At the hospital, Kang Ji-won is seen looking out the window of the hospital room. The cherry blossom petals were being blown away by the wind. Her best friend, Jung Se-min, came and comforted Ji-won. They were best friends and only had each other. The nurse informed Ji-won that her treatment would begin shortly. Ji-won has only 6 months to live and 12 months if there is a miracle. As she dozed off to sleep, she dreamed of the time she married her husband, Park Min-han. But her marriage is not what any other woman would wish for. Her mother-in-law treated her badly and only cared about her son's well-being. Even when Min-han quits his job to focus on stock trading, Ji-won has to pay for all the loans and expenses they need to fulfill. At work, Ji-won was also being reprimanded by her superior. Min-han doesn't help with household chores either. After work, Ji-won has to do all the household chores, even though she will be late because of overtime. She has experienced stomachaches a couple of times. During her free time, she went to have a checkup, and unfortunately, the doctor informed her that she has stage 4 gastric cancer. Even at this difficult time, there is no support from her husband and in-laws. Back at the hospital, she wakes up, and her treatment is already done. The doctor informed her that her family needed to settle her bills in order to continue her treatment. She called her husband, but he didn't answer, and that's when Ji-won decided to go home. She waved at an incoming vacant taxi. The taxi driver seems friendly, noticing that she is sick, and gives her words of encouragement. He even took a detour to a beautiful place that's full of cherry blossom trees. When they arrived at Ji-won's home, the driver gave her back the payment, saying it was his last drive as a taxi driver. A familiar pair of red stilettos is at the door when she enters the house. She hears a conversation between her husband and a woman in their bedroom. They are talking about the cancer insurance policy Min-han applied for, and what they can get after Ji-won will die because of her illness. And then she sees the face of the woman her husband is with in their bed. It is her one and only best friend, Se-min. Because of his anger, Ji-won shouted at them and started to throw things at them. At first, they were both startled by Ji-won's presence. But like before, her good-for-nothing husband got angry and wanted to hit her. In the living room, Ji-won sees their wedding picture and throws it at them too. She grabs Soo-min when she attempts to leave and grabs her hair. Min-han, as always, tries to protect Soo-min and pushes Ji-won hard. As a result, Ji-won died when her head hit the glass coffee table. At the office's pantry, Ji-won is standing without her glasses on, and tears start to fall from her eyes. Min-han worriedly approaches her and asks what's going on. Startled by Min-han and remembering how she died because of him, she goes hysterical on him and throws everything she could grab at him. All of the office employees witness this incident. Min-han tries to run, but Ji-won grabs his hair. As Min-han plans to punch her, Yoo Ji-yuk, the general manager of the team, grabs Ji-won and asks her what's going on, informing Ji-won that they are at the office. Suddenly, Ji-won notices her hand. There's no scar from all the treatment at the hospital. She looks in the mirror and does not see her sick old self. She stumbled and accidentally pushed the electric kettle, but she was saved by Ji-yuk from getting burned. She ran far away from the building, and her shoes were lost along the way. At the subway station, she was pulled back by Ji-yuk from falling off the stairs. Then, she sees her surroundings and notices the current date and year. It is April 2013, 10 years before her death. Ji-yuk takes her home and gives her money because she left her bag at the office. At home, she also sees the current date and the expiration date of the foods in the refrigerator. The doorbell rings. It is Ji-yuk. She opens the gate and sees a bag of food left for her to eat. Ji-won takes out the money Ji-yuk gave her and notices that the money the taxi driver gave back to her has a heart-shaped drawing, the same as the one her father usually gave her. A realization came to her. The taxi driver was none other than her late father. Upon checking her savings, a little is left on her because of all the loans Min-han gets from her name. She decided to invest in the stocks like Min-han did before. Min-han came and asked to eat out. He asks her what is wrong with her or if it is related to the pregnancy. She thinks she experiences the symptoms of. He wants her to abort her pregnancy, but knowing it was because of the gastritis, she told him she was not pregnant and wanted to break up with him. Refusing to do what she wants, Min-han grabs her, as she wants to be away from him. She calls for help, and they end up in the police station, where the police don't take her compatriots seriously. While Soo-min tries to call her, she doesn't want to answer her. Ji-won wants to make sure she is healthy and goes to the hospital for a checkup. There is no tumor found in her. She only has gastritis, which can be cured by medicine. At the bookstore, she grabs a couple of books about quitting a job, and that's when she sees Ji-yuk. She notices his burned hand due to him saving her. At the office, Ji-yuk asks for a meal in exchange for saving Ji-won from the hot kettle. They eat out, and she sees the same scar she had during her treatment on Ji-yuk's arm. He asks her if she is planning to quit her job because of her marriage plans. She tells him she is planning to quit. Ji-yuk then tells her how good and talented she is at work. At work the next morning, Min-han tried a couple of times to have a talk with Ji-won, but she ignored his attempts. She can now foresee what will happen and can easily prevent any bad things that will happen to her. But she concludes that even though she prevented it, it will eventually happen. But later on, she realizes that she can prevent what happened to her if she can pass it on to someone else. Instead of her, someone else will experience what she experienced before.